Alex Collins walked into a quiet hospital in Michigan, hoping for a routine checkup. But what the nurse found on his back would not only shock him, but it would open a door to a past he thought he had long buried. What could possibly be hidden in a simple mole? Something so seemingly innocent that it would send shockwaves through his life and unravel secrets he thought he had left behind for good. Imagine living for decades with a secret lodged deep inside you, a part of your past that was never meant to resurface. How long can a man carry something like that without it finding a way to reveal itself? And what happens when the past finally catches up with you in the most unexpected of ways? Stay with us as we unravel the mystery that has haunted Alex for years, a journey from the quiet corners of Michigan to the front lines of his memories. Trust us, you won't believe what we're about to uncover. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We share real-life stories like this every day, diving into hidden truths and jaw-dropping moments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out. And for our amazing returning viewers, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Let's see how far our stories are reaching. Now, let's dive into this shocking story, starting with a routine checkup that turned into something far more extraordinary. As Clara's fingers pressed against Alex's back, a cold unease settled over the room. The mole was no longer just a cosmetic issue. It had become something far more enigmatic. This doesn't feel right, Clara thought, her mind racing as she observed the hard texture beneath her touch. Alex, still unaware of the significance, stood silent, his discomfort palpable as Clara's gaze sharpened. This wasn't like the benign moles she usually saw. There was a solid mass underneath, something unnatural. "Not like any mole I've seen before," she said softly, almost to herself. The slight tremble in her hand didn't escape Alex's notice. He shifted uncomfortably, but Clara's focus didn't waver. There was an underlying tension now, something unsaid between them. The clock on the wall ticked softly in the background, but the only sound that mattered was the quiet hum of uncertainty filling the space. Without further delay, Clara set her tools down and made her decision. "We need to biopsy it," she said firmly, her voice professional, yet tinged with a quiet urgency. Alex raised an eyebrow, still not fully grasping the gravity of the situation. As Clara carefully prepped for the procedure, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was hiding beneath Alex's skin. With her scalpel poised, she made the first incision. The mole seemed to resist, an unexpected hardness that stopped her in her tracks. "What is this?" she thought, her pulse quickening. She probed further. Something metallic, sharp. Was it a fragment of something buried inside? It didn't make sense. But the answers were buried, deep within Alex's body, and Clara was determined to find them. The sterile room grew heavier with every moment, as Clara's hands moved with steady precision. She could feel it now. This wasn't just a mole. This was a story waiting to be uncovered. Clara's scalpel cut into the mole once more, but this time, it didn't behave as expected. It resisted. It felt like something was pushing back, fighting to stay there, Clara said under her breath. The small incision was supposed to yield nothing more than a harmless skin sample, but something far deeper was hiding beneath the surface. The tension in the room heightened, and Alex shifted uncomfortably on the examination table, sensing the change. "What's going on?" he thought, but didn't ask. He simply watched as Clara's expression grew more focused, her hands trembling slightly as she carefully made the incision wider. The silence in the room felt heavier now. There was something hidden here, something that wasn't meant to be. And then Clara felt it. A cold, metallic resistance. It wasn't just a mole. There was something inside it, something hard, something cold. Her voice faltered only for a second before she regained composure, but the realization hit her like a tidal wave. She wasn't just looking at an ordinary growth anymore. She was staring at something far more sinister, something buried deep within Alex's body for decades. Without hesitation, Clara grabbed the phone, her voice sharp. "Get Dr. Harris in here now." The routine appointment had turned into something far more urgent, and as the room filled with an uneasy silence, Alex couldn't help but feel the cold grip of uncertainty clutch his chest. Minutes later, Dr. Harris arrived, and the atmosphere shifted instantly from mundane to critical. Clara quickly explained what she had found, and together, they proceeded to carefully remove the object lodged deep within Alex's back. What came out wasn't a simple growth. It was a small, jagged bullet fragment. A bullet, Dr. Harris whispered, his voice heavy with disbelief. Lodged deep inside you. How did this get here? For Alex, the answer was immediate and haunting. This wasn't just a strange medical anomaly. This was a part of his past, a painful reminder of the Vietnam War, of the battle he thought he had long buried. The discovery wasn't just physical. It was an emotional bombshell, a reminder that sometimes the past never really leaves us. It waits, quietly, hidden, until it's forced to resurface. The dense jungle of Vietnam is alive with the sounds of explosions and gunfire. Alex Collins, a young Navy SEAL, crouches behind cover, his heart pounding as the chaos unfolds around him. The heat of the jungle is suffocating, and the air is thick with smoke and tension. His squad is under fire, the enemy closing in from all sides. In the midst of it all, the world shifts as Alex feels a sharp, searing pain in his side. A bullet. He drops to the ground, blood soaking his uniform. But there's no time to panic. His training kicks in. The combat medic arrives, working quickly to patch him up. The bleeding is controlled, but Alex is dazed. The fight isn't over. I was bleeding out, but they fixed me up, sent me to a safe zone, never realizing the bullet stayed behind. Back in the chaos of battle, Alex barely notices the small piece of metal lodged in his side. It's dismissed as a minor injury, one he'll push through. They don't have the time to search for everything. The immediate danger is what matters. He's stabilized and sent on his way, never thinking that this bullet fragment would remain with him for decades. Decades later, sitting in a quiet examination room in Cadillac, Michigan, Alex reflects on the war, his life since, and the years of silence that followed. He'd moved on, built a family, a career. He'd buried the past deep inside, convinced that the wounds of war were long healed. But now, as he sits on that table, the discovery of the bullet fragment unearths something unexpected, a painful truth he had ignored for too long. The past had come rushing back, not as memories, but as a physical piece of him he never knew was still there. I buried the past. I didn't know that part of me was still there. Alex's eyes fall to the small bullet fragment Clara had just removed. It's more than just a piece of metal. It's the key to the part of him he thought he had left behind. Maria enters the room, her face a mix of concern and calm. She's seen Alex's struggle over the years, but there's something she's never shared with him. Something that, like the bullet, has been buried deep within her. As she stands beside him, Alex senses that this moment, like the discovery of the bullet, will unearth another hidden truth. I never told you. I was a combat medic too, Maria finally says, her voice low but steady. Alex stares at her, stunned. He had always known Maria carried something heavy, but this was a revelation. She had been there, in the same war, but in a different role. The same pain, the same trauma, all hidden from him for years. I thought you had enough of your own demons. I didn't want to add mine, Maria continues, her eyes distant, as if she's reliving those moments in her mind. She'd treated soldiers, watched them suffer, seen them die. But unlike Alex, she never spoke about it. She carried her trauma silently, shielding him from it. Alex listens, his own memories mixing with hers. He now understands the quiet grief that has shaped their marriage. We both have scars. We always have. But now, we don't have to face them alone. This shared moment of revelation is more than just a confession. It's the beginning of healing. Together, they face the truth of their past, the pain that had been hidden for so long, and find strength in each other's understanding. The operating room is quiet, the steady beep of the heart monitor filling the silence. Clara prepares for surgery, her hands steady, but her mind focused. She knows this isn't just about removing a bullet. It's about addressing something much deeper, years of hidden trauma. It's not just about removing a bullet anymore. It's about healing what's been buried deep for so long. Alex lies on the table, his body tense with apprehension. He's ready to confront the past, but the weight of it still presses down on him. The surgery is a necessary step, but it's a reminder of everything he's been carrying for years. As Clara makes the incision, the bullet fragment finally emerges, small, jagged, and metallic, but heavy with meaning. This isn't just a fragment of metal. It's a piece of your past, Alex. The discovery is both literal and symbolic. The past, buried for decades, has now come to the surface. In the days that follow, Alex begins to heal physically. But the true healing is emotional, a process he starts with Maria by his side. The silence that once separated them has now given way to shared understanding. I couldn't have faced this without you, Maria, and I know you've carried this burden for me. Together, they begin to heal, not just from the war, but from the years of unspoken pain that had kept them apart. Alex and Maria sit side by side, reflecting on everything they've uncovered. The bullet is gone, but the true healing has only just begun. The bullet's out, but the real healing's just begun. Together, they face the future, no longer burdened by secrets. The weight of their pasts, once hidden, now shared, makes them stronger. We're survivors, together. They walk forward as partners, ready to rebuild their lives with newfound understanding and strength. Some wounds are hidden deep within, but it's not until we confront them that we can truly heal. Alex and Maria's story is one of strength, pain, and the power of sharing the weight of the past. If you found Alex and Maria's story moving, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your story too. And remember, you're not alone.